In the future, floating cities will intrigue you because they represent an infrastructural blank slate. They do not need to connect to land infrastructures and can operate self-sufficiently in a closed loop with their own solar panels and desalination plants. Innovative floating islands offer the potential to counter some of the consequences of climate change and provide a glimpse of the future. OCEANIX Busan is the world's first prototype of a sustainable floating community. Using breakthrough technologies, the city aims to demonstrate that coastal cities facing severe land shortages compounded by rising sea levels can adapt to such threats. Hello and welcome back to our channel Future Planet. In today's video, we will talk about the world's first floating city, OCEANIX Busan. Before we continue, just take a moment to subscribe to our channel for more amazing videos just like this one. With that out of the way, let's dive right in. As our planet is warming, glaciers and ice sheets are melting, and at the same time, the water in the ocean is expanding as it warms. OCEANIX was proposed in 2018 with the goal of designing and building sustainable floating cities. The idea is that they would be constructed off the coast of existing metropolises threatened by rising sea levels. If it's a success, it could help the world's coastal cities adapt to the future of rising sea levels, as well as serve as a model for the cities of tomorrow. The world faces a mega city crisis. 2 in 5 people live within 100 kilometers of a coastline, and 90% of megacities globally are vulnerable to rising sea levels. 1/3 of that sea level rise has happened in the last 25 years. According to the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration, or NOAA, the average sea level rise in the United States is projected at between 10 to 12 inches by 2050. With flood-damaging infrastructure costing billions of dollars while displacing millions of climate refugees from their homes, the OCEANIX floating city aims to provide a solution to the crisis by providing a permanent self-sustaining platform for human habitation in the world's most pressing oceanfront location. In cities with rapid population growth with no room to expand, residents are forced to move closer to the water, forcing out those with the lowest incomes. Floating cities could help us adapt. OCEANIX, the blue tech company based in New York City, first unveiled its concept in April 2019. The plans have now undergone more detailed design work and architectural visualization, with South Korea's port city of Busan chosen as the first location to host one of these futuristic habitats. In April 2022, at the second UN Roundtable on Sustainable Floating Cities, the group unveiled the design of OCEANIX Busan, which was spearheaded by the architecture firms Barke Inglis Group (BIG) and SMAOO. Philip Hoffman, CEO of OCEANIX, explained, "Today is a pivotal milestone for all coastal cities and island nations on the front lines of climate change. We are on track to delivering OCEANIX Busan and demonstrating that floating infrastructure can create new land for coastal cities looking for sustainable ways to expand onto the ocean, while adapting to sea level rise." OCEANIX Busan is designed to organically transform and adapt over time based on the needs of Busan. Each of the 3 platforms will treat and replenish its own water, as well as reduce and recycle resources. Spanning a total of around 15 acres across the 3 platforms, the floating city will initially accommodate a community of 12,000 people. OCEANIX Busan will consist of 3 floating platforms. The neighborhoods will connect to one another through bridges, and each will serve a specific purpose. Each neighborhood is restricted to treat and recycle its water, and waste will be treated and recycled as energy, agricultural feedstock, and more. Let's take a look at these platforms. Number 1. Living. This neighborhood will have residential buildings, local retailers and food vendors, and a community backyard where residents can gather at its center. Number 2. Lodging. The lodging platform will be built to support visitors. It'll have many retail and dining options and guest rooms designed to maximize ocean views. Number 3. Research. The third neighborhood will be a co-working and research hub, with a temperature-controlled atrium at its center for hydroponic agriculture. Each neighborhood will be secured to the ocean floor with enough slack that it can rise and fall with water. But people reportedly won't be able to feel this motion, meaning the population of OCEANIX won't be limited to only those with sea legs. Floating City has the potential to grow to accommodate more than 100,000 residents and visitors. The floating platforms are accompanied by dozens of productive outposts and greenhouses. The city has 6 integrated systems focusing on energy, food, water, waste, mobility, and coastal habitat regeneration to ensure the floating city wastes as little as possible. These interconnected systems will obtain 100% of their required energy on-site through floating and rooftop solar panels. The project is said to be the tourist location of the future. People can enjoy organic dining from local eateries, communal terraces, guest rooms, and skylit glasshouse facilities. The extended ground level will encompass these eco-friendly retail options that offer panoramic waterfront views. The undersides of the platforms will be coated in biorock, a material that's produced when a low electric current is used to pull minerals from the water. Those minerals then solidify into a material that is harder than concrete but buoyant. OCEANIC states on its website, "Biorock is a unique ocean technology that produces the only marine construction material that grows, heals itself, and becomes stronger with age. Moreover, the floating city has no roadways, only pedestrian-friendly paths to support walking, biking, and autonomous electric vehicles, so that it won't produce any vehicle emissions. All the energy used will be clean thanks to solar panels on rooftops and floating platforms." OCEANIC's co-founder, ITAI MADAMOMBE, said that the project would cost an estimated $200 million. But based on the final design, OCEANIC's estimated price tag could be closer to $627 million. The cost of living in the city is also uncertain. MADAMOMBE recently told the audience that she hoped units would be affordable. The agreement for this project was signed in November 2021 by the OCEANIX in collaboration with Busan and the Unhabitat. MADAMOMBE also cleared that construction on OCEANIX Busan would take an estimated 3 years. It's now set to begin in 2023, so that means the first floating city could be built by 2026. Executive Director of Unhabitat, Maimuna Sharif, said, "We cannot solve today's problems with yesterday's tools. We need to innovate solutions to global challenges. But in this drive for innovation, let's be inclusive and equitable and ensure we leave no one and no place behind." While the idea of floating cities isn't new, no one has built one like this before. So the concept could be decided by the success of this prototype. OCEANIX is hopeful it'll soon be constructing floating cities around the world. Hoffman said, "We have started with Busan, but we want to help bring this highly sustainable infrastructure solution to other coastal cities around the globe. It is applicable to any coastal environment, to any climate, and can be easily calibrated to their needs." Housing the growing global population is one of the key challenges facing policymakers today. Without curbing emissions, it's predicted more than 800 million people living in 570 cities around the world could be at risk from sea level rise by 2050. The network estimates the cost of rising sea levels and inland flooding could reach $1 trillion by mid-century. But it's hoped that this sustainable floating city prototype could go some way to solving the problem of providing safe homes for vulnerable coastal communities. However, it is said that if this prototype city is a success, Busan could choose to connect more than 17 additional platforms to the initial 3. For a total of over 100 acres. So with that, our video has come to an end here. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel Future Planet and hit the bell icon for more intriguing content. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.